chills in your head.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? You are rocking with Moochie, and this is Moochilla's Review. So hit the hammer because you came through. And what's up, y'all? I'm talking about BMF tonight. This was the first episode. It was called Detroit vs. Everybody. And we about to get into it. A lot of things we they do a flash forward in the beginning of this, and they do a flashback where they show us the 90s to show us the journey on how they got to where they got. And this, not for nothing, Terry don't got a good track record, y'all. It seems like every time they get jammed up in a situation, it seems like it's always Terry's fault. Is it me? Let me know what y'all think. I just feel like every time they got caught up in a situation, it was his fault. And keep in mind, while I do my review, I'll bring it to you guys' attention. And if you got something that you want to bring to my attention, please put it in the comments, y'all. Okay? Moving on. So they fast forward all the way to Detroit 2007. And it shows Meech and Terry both getting arrested. They also told us that they didn't see each other for 2 years before this arrest actually happened. And the brothers were not really speaking to each other like that. So they show that the show that it was a lot of back and forth with them. Now, as far as these two, they was even arguing in the cell about whose fault it is. And Meech was even willing to take a plea. But Terry's like, nah, I'm going to take it to trial and go with God. And he telling him, look, if you don't take this plea, you going to jam everything up. Just take the plea because they got more on you because they don't really have anything on me. They brought him in just off the strength of everything that was on Terry's case from what I'm seeing right here. But you people from Detroit, y'all could give me the real deal in the comments so we could chat it up. Shouts out to Detroit King. Shouts out to Brillo. They know the deal. I'm from New York, so certain stuff I don't know unless it was like in magazines or different documentaries, crime documentaries like that I've been following. So I'm looking at this. My thing was this. She pissed me off. She was acting like she was really like about knocking on, the Grim Reaper's door, and he was ready to open it in this ambulance. But they made it seem like she was worse than what she really was. I would really like to know her condition because I feel like this was like she did this to. I don't know. I feel like, in a way, I feel like she kind of did this to push herself more into Terry's life. That's how it looks to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know these people, but I'm just going by the storyline. Anywho, moving on, he rushes with her to the hospital. His family comes there. They come in there. They worried about Terry, and all Terry doing is talking about how bad Markeisha is. And not for nothing, if I was LaWanda, I would be coming with the same energy that she coming with. Heck yeah. Especially if I'm the mother of your child. I got one baby and you got me knocked up and you gallivanting all over town with this girl. We just left the function when you brought this girl here. You damn right I'm not going to feel sorry. So I'm glad she came with the true energy that she had. Meanwhile, I was glad that Lucille came with the energy for off because she like, you shouldn't even be talking. I see where the apple don't fall far from the tree, and Terry gonna throw up his hands more than once in this episode, y'all, because he is not had it up to here, but you bringing your own problems on yourself, brother. Moving on. So now that they know she's gonna be fine. I thought this was so great, and the person who had the most sense in this whole thing was Nicole, y'all. She had the whole thing. You messing up. Meech is out here making things happen, and you just breaking our family even further apart. I was glad she said what she said to him. Sometimes wisdom comes from a kid, and she was letting him know, yo, you messing up, bruh. Moving on. Now, Meech, meanwhile, is in Atlanta trying to make moves. And this is where we see the new character, Greenie. So he's making moves with him. This is played by Neo's character. But he got to get money washed. He don't know, he don't really know what's going on. Because remember, Goldie had to leave town and she just put him on to his guy. But do we know if this guy is really going to take care of Meech? So do we know if Greenie's going to take care of him? He sound like he already robbing him with taking all of the interest and stuff like that just because he's a dude that's from out of town. So yeah, he was also explaining how he got another strip club where he got high-end. It seemed like, is it me? Do he got high-end strippers, and then you got the strippers from the hood with the bullet holes and the stab wounds? Let me find out. I'm just saying, that's how he seemed like he was making it, like these girls in the other club is on a different caliber. Now you talking about, oh, your money's no good here when the NBA players is here. But to me, I wouldn't even want to I don't know, certain things I wouldn't want to do. I'm frugal with my money. I wouldn't even be trying to outspend these NBA dudes. That's how I feel about that. He was like, he said they liquid. And he said they got to ask he said, I'm liquid cash. They got to ask for permission to spend their money, which is true 9 times out of 10. Some of them go to financial advisors and things like that. So yeah, me just on point with this. He's very on point with this. He got it together and he's on point. So yeah, I dig that part. So yeah, so I dig that. Look me off, like I said, everything you know everything. Me just finding out, trying to get the lay of the land and find out who he got to make moves with. And he meets up with Sterl's homeboy Duffy. He meets Stacks and also Diesel. Stacks is the character played by 2 Chainz, and he happens to be the uncle of Ty Washington's baby mother. So Meech finds out here from Hoop that Terry got lit up at a light, it was a drive-by. Terry's okay. However, Marquisha is not. And he's talking about how he got to stand tall. But just a couple of weeks before this, if we going back in real BMF time, when Meech's baby mother got taken out, he was telling him to lay low. Meech had to act like he didn't even know this woman. But no, you want to pound on your chest like you in the concrete jungle. And you want to let everybody know, look, you ain't going to mess with my woman because I'm going to come for you. And Meech is telling him, right now is not the right time. And he's right by this. But what did Terry's do? He want to tell Meech and hang up the phone. And this is how every time he defies Meech or wants to act like he's in charge or act like he's the smartest person in the room, this usually starts with a whole trail of F-ups with him. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to call it like I see it. So if you get mad at me, so be it. But we found out a lot about Atlanta, what was going on back here in the 90s, and we also find out about how many rival crews they gonna have to go up against in order to get their product out in here. But it seems like right now it looks like Meech and Ty Washington's old crew, because they can't get in the club, so they can't even get product and stuff like that because Ty is down, he's gone. So Meech is trying to step in, but they not feeling this right now. But they know who he is and they feeling him out in the club. So I don't want to put my track shoes on and go too far ahead. But when all of this mingling is going on, Ty Washington's friend Stacks, his relative Stacks, his family that's been holding his baby's mamas down since Ty Washington passed away, spots Remy at the club, and it gets physical. They putting hands and feet on people, and that was just the start of the opening for BMF, and I thought that was hot. I thought it was hot. I thought it was fire because we got through so much information in that one span before they even started the intro to it, and that's what I loved about it. Next, now that this fight happened, I think Meech was going to think that this was going to be just like how it was when he hooked up with Sterl and helped him out in that club, and they was going to be all kumbaya because you helped me. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend thing. I think Meech did think that he was going to link in with these people like that, but they like, nah. Stacks is like, ever since you came around, trouble follows you wherever you go. Trouble follows you wherever you go. And it's not at all a good look. And they basically separate from them. I don't know why my pictures is going all over the place, y'all. My bad. So that's what's going on with that. Now, as far as this whole thing, I really enjoyed this episode, but it's like a lot of things you trying to see, is it going to happen a certain way? But they are using a creative writing license with this, so a lot of things is not going to be true to life with this, because they can't do it that way, y'all. You know this, okay? So you know what got on my nerve the most with him going, with Terry going to this hospital. Terry going to this hospital to talk to Markeisha, and he talking about, you know, he's going to do what he has to do to get Saint. And he's, you know, nobody goes after his woman. I feel like, why are they making this woman such the prize package? I want to know what else was she bringing to the table, because it's like you offering to be her knight in shining armor. Meanwhile, you got a woman at home that has not one but two of your kids, and I believe it seemed like it's another one coming. Stop me if I'm wrong. How many kids did Terry have with LaWanda? So, like, if y'all know that, put it in the chat, y'all. I just feel like he's abandoning his family to take up with this woman. We find out a lot also about Remy and how much of a Robin Hood type of person he is. He's looking out for the kids in the neighborhood, making sure they got lunches and stuff like that. He's not just basically selling drugs to the neighborhood. He's giving back to his hood, And a lot of people, he's paying people's rent. So he's looking out for a lot of people. And I believe he's like, you know how you call it one of the people's champions? He's one of those people to me. And a lot of people, if Meech is going to come after this dude, he's going to have a lot of people in his corner just because of the type of person he is. And because Meech is an out-of-towner. So we find out with this that Remy has problems with this group called, this police group. And we find out that they have problems with these people. And they use a lot of brutality. This is back in the 90s when Rodney King happened. They was using force. They was coming at these drug dealers with force. And to top it off, they had a program that they called because they was trying to get the bid for Atlanta for the Olympics. And people don't talk about how a lot of people was displaced when this happened. They was shutting down like hoods and moving people places just so they could appease to get the Olympics to come to Atlanta that year. This thing was a big deal back then. They end up getting this deal, but this institute set up this program that they had for drug dealers. And it was the group that they set up basically was they had Drano in Detroit, and then they had this group in Atlanta, and it was called Red Dogs, Run Every Drug Dealer Out of Georgia. Now back to Charles and Lucille. You know, we had like a big debate on this last season about them splitting up and whose fault it was and what's what with this. You know, you had people doing the Team Charles stuff, and you had other people that was totally against it, like myself. Moving on. Now, we know that Charles and Lucille got it in when she had that red outfit and she came there looking all good. They made up, but did they really make up? Sometimes the makeup nookie be just the thing, but maybe you don't want all of the headaches that come with making up. And that's where it looks like we are with Charles and Lucille. She like, the ride was fun, but I don't want to do this no more. And it seems like Charles wants to try to reel her back in, but she feels like she needs another start, but just not with him. And Charles wants to change her mind. He's like, look, we can't even afford to live on our own right now. We can't even afford to fix this place up. You know why? Because you was busy doing Mabel's cabinets. You was busy fixing up Mabel's house instead of fixing up your own. And now, all she see is you being inside Mabel. So she don't want to even be bothered with you no more. She don't want you no more, Charles. Chuck, you're stuck and you're messed up. Moving on. They're going to split up, but they're going to do the divorce right. Meanwhile, Detective Bryant, you know what? I got a beef with Detective Bryant. How you wasn't able to get you a lawyer for Kevin? All of this money you was taking from Meech back in season 1 and some of season 2, and you mean to tell me you don't got no money to show for it? It's not like you hooked up your house. You don't got a new car. You got custody of your son, so you're not paying child support. Where's all your money going, Detective Bryant? Jen meets a new partner. She meets her new partner, and she has connections with the mayor because that's her father, so she feels like she got the job through nepotism. But she corrects her. No, you're wrong. I didn't get it through nepotism. So Jen already got an axe to grind with Anderson. I want to know how y'all think this partnership is going to be. I thought we were going to see the last person we saw last year. I forgot the chick name, Leslie. The chick from Saturday Night Live where she was cracking on Meech in his eye and stuff. I thought we was going to see this lady. But you know, I was wrong about that. We didn't see her. But I want to know what y'all think about this whole partnership with Jen and Anderson. Like, do you think this is going to be a good partnership? You know, what's your thoughts on it? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Now, I'm mad at, like I said, Detective Bryant. I want to know how and why you don't have money to help this dude. Now, we find out that Meech finds out that Terry wants to take out this Saint guy that basically that's the character that DC Young Fly was playing. He wants to take out Saint and he wants to do it himself. I don't think this is a good idea because he messes up everything. I'm glad that your boy Sterl is letting them know, look, your boy is going around, your brother's going around talking crazy, talking about he want to take out Saint, and we don't think it's a good idea right now. You already had Hoop tell him, look, he gonna mess up the party we trying to throw, meaning like he gonna mess up them making moves and make the block hot if he go after Saint. They already waiting for him to retaliate. So my question is this: will this be handled good? Will this come back on Terry? Is still going to take care of this good where they can't prove it's him? Or is Terry going to run his mouth because he wants to be the one that's responsible for this? So is he going to run his mouth letting people know or letting people think that he was the one that did it? Me just trying to get ahead of this where he lets Sterl know, look, you got to handle this. I don't want my brother getting his hands dirty. I thought this was really smart. And, you know, they still going through stuff, BMF. I'm talking about in the public eye. This guy gets on my nerve of the partner that they have, you know, Anderson. He's basically taking over the case, and they know K9 is really talking a lot, and he's acting like he blew the case out of water when it wasn't really him. It was Jen and Bryant, but they got taken off the case because that whole situation that happened with B. Mickey's pow and Detective Bryant's son using the pow. I still want to know, are they going to charge him with all of those bodies? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I want to know, how is this boy so sheltered where he doesn't understand he broke the law, where he doesn't understand that his father can't get him out of this? Why doesn't Detective Bryant have enough money just to pay this boy's bail that's never been in trouble to get him out so he could fight his case on the outside? How is this boy going? So in this scene, Charles and Lucille are basically talking about how everybody in the neighborhood is talking about them, how they're talking about Terry and how they know that Terry got blasted at again, and basically criticizing the life that they are living, talking about everything from they children to them divorcing. They talking about this coming to Wendy's at her job to talk about this. Chuck is agreeing with her, like he can't take it no more either. They talking about maybe they should go to a different church. Now, I don't know about you. Charles is in the doghouse, so he gonna agree with whatever Lucille say just to stay on that side of the bed. But she letting them know, look, it ain't going down. You gonna sleep on that couch downstairs. So I'm trying to think, are we going to see them take another run at this? Or are we going to really see the division of this family, the breakdown of this family, the divorce of this family? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to record this thing, and every couple of minutes, I keep getting kicked out or some other nonsense. So I'll probably gonna have to put this together later. But it's all good. It's all good. So we see Stacks meet with Meech. Oh, before we get there, Meech had his homeboy come there. And Meech made sure he's got a key to the house. Roland got a key to the house. He picking up groceries, bringing flowers for Miss Flannery, all of this. And Chuck is giving him up, okay? He like, what the heck is going on? She hugging this kid. She got this little salt and pepper haircut. He thinking anything to take the guilt and the blame off of him. He gonna try to think she messing around with this young dude. But that ain't the case. At least I don't think so. If anybody knows, any historians know in Detroit that if this was going on, let me know. But I don't think so. It's all in Chuck's head. It's all in Chuck's head because you still don't want him no more. And she letting him know she don't want him. Moving on. I thought this part was cool. I liked how he walked with him to the door and got his keys back and all of that. And he was being honest. You like my mom. I'm going to treat you like my mom. I don't know about you, but I got some of my son's friends that do look at me like I'm a mom to them too. So we see Stacks and Meech meet up. He cuts him a price for $25 a brick. He wants to know if he's going to run and carry this news. Because then we're going to know if he's a weak link or if he got a big mouth, they're going to know how to deal with him. So while all of this is going on, it seems like their business is going to be good. He seems like he's going to roll with them. Is he going to stay 10 toes down? We shall see. All right. But now that we got Jen and Anderson teaming up, they go to visit Markeisha, and Markeisha is really not talking to them. She feels like this is all their fault. If they didn't go to Boom with that picture of her and Terry together, she would not be even laying in this hospital bed because Saint would have never came after them. So she not going to point Saint out. She's still following the code of the streets. She letting them know this is all your fault that this happened to me. You guys are the reason why I'm here. And this new girl that don't know nothing, she gonna say, is the D worth it? Is the D that good? And Markeisha say, yeah, all day. She's saying it just like Terry be throwing them days. Southwest all day. Yes, the D is good to her. All right, moving on. Moving on. Meech shows interest in Terry's friend that's rapping too. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about these girls? Like these two together. Do you think they're gonna do a good partnership? Is she gonna be loyal to this girl? Now, I gotta skip here because we see that Dice is getting product from Meech. He gonna make a couple sales and come back through. Remember, he was originally I thought he was from out of town though. But he's gonna make moves and meet up with them. And he's letting them know the lowdown with Remy Bad. They let him know how one of his brothers was taken and how he found the person and how he gives back to the hood so much. You might have a problem getting people on board to go at this dude. And Meech knows that this is going to be a problem. So right now, I'm like, y'all letting this guy go off with these bricks by himself. Now that they getting this product back, Terry and Hoop, you know what? With him talking about, we gonna have a new thing. Why are you trying to make moves like this and you know they still watching y'all? How are you trying to open a new business? You already just did the car wash thing. Now you talking about closing up this record shop and opening all this other stuff at the age y'all are doing this. Who y'all gonna have for your front people? Are you gonna do this as smart as your brother? This is all of the questions that I'm asking in my head right now because I don't think this is a good idea. I feel like he is setting himself up where he's gonna have a lot of eyes on him. What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I feel like he really is gonna set himself up for failure because he's doing too much. Now, when this drop happens with Meech, meanwhile in Atlanta, we got Remy's people coming after him. We got Remy people blasting at them. One of his boys get hit that was bringing the product. And Meech was able to get this, I like to say, where he was able to pick up what he had to pick up and keep it moving. We find out that the dude is not that, he's all right. He got hit, but he gonna be all right. And Meech just still want to push forward and get this done. And I want to know, where is this gonna go? Will it be a time where we see all of these people unite with Meech, or is this going to be an ongoing uphill battle between Meech and Remy? And now you got this Haitian group that's up there now where they not messing with them too. I'm intrigued. My interest is piqued. I want to know what's gonna go on with this, y'all. Now, every time I get to Detective Brian, I get mad at this because I feel like, yo, you was taking money from Meech all this time and you have nothing to show for it. All we saw you buy was a funky new safe. We ain't see you really getting no. Like, what was you doing with this money that you was getting from Meech when you was working with him? I'm not understanding this. And if somebody could enlighten me on the situation, please do. How your son don't understand how the law work and his dad's a cop? I'm not understanding this. How you ain't explained to your son XYZ? It's like Brian did not explain consequences to this kid. It's like he did not explain consequences to this kid at all, and I'm having a problem with it. Like, how is your son this naive and this is a cop's kid? He should have been, just because the racial factor with the police, your son should have been groomed on how to talk to the police, how to handle himself in an interview situation. It's so much stuff. And then not only that, being that you're a cop's kid, I feel like they would have been more lenient on you, but it's looking like they kind of knew you was dirty, so they just letting the chips fall where they made with you. What y'all thoughts? Okay. I just feel like this might be the last time we see Kev. He not gonna be able to hold it up in the bank. Okay. Now, once again, Terry has pissed me off with this girl. Me and you against the world. And you talking about how you want to get this big house for them. And I just can't understand this. Like, you, and then she's saying, you was telling her, oh, I don't want you to go back and stay at Boone's place. But you got the audacity. Why you ain't get a hotel room again? You had I guess he didn't get a hotel room because I guess the pictures, because they was being staked out before. They already know y'all messing around now. You might as well go back to the hotel and take her there. Why did you have to bring her to the Flannery home with your baby mother there and you think this is all right? You stroll up in here. You think this is totally okay. Wow. You got your son there. You got your kid on the way there. Your sister there, your mama and your daddy. And you know what your mama and daddy was going through. And you gonna come in here with this girl. Like, this is all right. I had a problem with all this. I thought this was very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And she was all right with this. And then the argument, well, I guess it was meant to be. She made me sick. And don't get me wrong, I like Lala as a character, but I like the back and forth that these two had. But I'm surprised it didn't turn into an all-out cat fight with these two because of the shenanigans that Terry's pulling. And then you're going to tell her, oh, you shouldn't argue because of the condition that you're in. This is not good for you. You making this environment hostile. Anywho, this scene pissed me off, y'all. But I like the way LaWanda handled it. Like, get your baby and get out of here. I felt like Charles did tell him, right, you was being disrespectful, but Terry feel like you shouldn't be telling me nothing after what you did to my mama. So that's where we at with that. That's how Terry feel about that. He really don't want to even mess with his dad once he know that. But how can you get mad and you doing the same thing to your woman? Meanwhile, Detective Bryant goes to this juvenile detention center. I'm thinking he was gonna pick out two boys that he know from his job to look after this boy, like how he had B. Mickey look after him on the street and go after those kids. But no, you want to sit in front of this place and burn up pictures of Terry. This is your fault. Your son is here, not Terry and Meech. Now, if you would have did things right, you probably could have had Terry and Meech go there and threaten the kids so Kevin didn't have to go in that safe and get that pow like I predicted last season. But we're here, Detective Bryant. We're here with you smoking cigarettes and burning up Polaroids. Okay? Now, what are you going to do now that you smoke cigarettes, burnt up Polaroids of Terry Flannery, and threw it out in front of the jail? Where are we going with this? Meanwhile, you got Jen and Anderson. They find Saint's body in his room, laid out on his bed, and he's no more. So now they automatically want to assume that Terry did this. And meanwhile, what Terry doing? Buying new businesses, looking like Big Willie right now. So this is not a good look for Doom. It's not a good look for him. He's setting himself up to really be under the eyes of law enforcement. And Jen spots some cocoa under the bed. Do you think her and Brian gonna be in cahoots? Do you think that her and Detective Bryant is gonna be in cahoots with this cocoa? And are they gonna use this to help out with Kevin's situation? Because Bryant don't got no money, which I don't know how he don't got no money and how he spent all his money. We don't see what he did with the money. This is crazy to me. So now I think Jen gonna do some dirty too, just on Kevin's behalf, because she know Kevin is in a situation like this because of his damn daddy. Now, Terry is hearing all the chit chatter about how everything is going down, and everybody is none the wiser, thinking that Terry had everything to do with taking out Saint. But they give this look with Terry gives this look to Sterl, and Sterl looks back at Terry like, as long as you keep it quiet, ain't nobody gonna know who did it, and everybody gonna assume it's you. Now, do you think this is gonna go left, y'all? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that Sterl and him was gonna have a problem in the future? Just a thought. Just want to know what y'all think about it. Moving on, y'all. Moving on. Now, Meech goes to this club. He's unable to get in. They done said, you need to go back where you came from. Go back north. You not wanted here. We not doing business with you. Bounce. And just as they are leaving, Remy shows back up. And when he shows back up, he has Dice with him, y'all. And he tells him, go back up north where the snow is. and he leaves Dice's body there. And I want to know, is this gonna be a war? Are they ever gonna get along, y'all? Let me know what y'all thoughts is, because I want to know, are they ever gonna get along? Do you think that how can I say this? Do you see Remy and him continue to be rivals, or will they ever be in business together? Do you think it's gonna be somebody that's gonna be able to get between these two and have them do business together, or do you think it's just an all-out war that we are about to witness? Will we see more, deletions of some of the peoples in Meek's crew, or some of people in Remy's crew? You still got Duffy people too, so this could get really ugly. So I just want to see how this is going to pan out. I also want to see if they're going to put the bad boy situation in this season. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Put me up in that algorithm, y'all. And holla at your girl. Ew.